I don't even know where to begin with all the stuff that we've got to talk about today, but we're gonna just jump right into it. Deborah, let's start with you this morning and talking about business. It's one of my hobbies.
Awesome, mine too.
Good deal. So we got that made there. So I love looking at some of the notes that we have about some of your suggestions and things that you're involved. You're involved in a lot of different things.
I have a head that has a lot going on, yes.
Uh-oh. You know something? I have all these voices in my head too. The doctors can't get it straightened out.
I've at least learned how to quiet and manage them.
Oh, okay. So that's a good deal.
It's good.
Nice. Okay, so a ton of people claim to help businesses do better, but you do it a little differently. Why are you different than all the? You hear all of them talking about. I can help you. And I have a friend of mine that's I kid him all the time because he's a consultant, and I always tell him before he was a consultant he was a golf pro, and I said you got two things in common. The thing a golf pro does best is absolutely nothing. And I don't know what he does now. So tell me a little bit about your business.
You bet. Well, first of all, I'm the black sheep of golf, so I appreciate those who play it, but I'm not there. So how do I do business?
There's a lot
different?
of people that say they play it and they aren't there either.
I left that one wide open for you, right?
Exactly.
Okay, cool. So how do I do business different? Well, first of all, what's different about me is that what we do for our clients, I've lived through. So I'm not just talking at people, I've lived it. I've been there, done that, have stayed awake at night, sweated, with the concerns and the worries and the how do I grow my business and make it so that I have work-life balance, I don't get overwhelmed, and more importantly, I'm making money for my company. So bring that forward, and what we do for businesses and what I've been doing for years now publicly is I help businesses get business and make money.
That's a good thing for businesses.
They tend to like that. Now,
unless your name is Amazon, because how many years did they go out there and they did business and didn't make money? Now look at them.
Yeah. So I deal with a little bit of a different demographic. I love to work with my people are those that are get it done, meaning they love to get things done in business. They're visionary, they're passionate, and more often than not, they jumped into business with this idea, kind of the E-Myth, this idea of how to do business better. But there's a couple of pieces that tend to be missing, and that is how do I market more effectively, and how do I continually attract clients to get sales, to put money in the bank. So what we do is very strategic, taking a look at where are your strengths, where are you at, where do you want to be, where's the strengths, where's the weaknesses, but then we come together and develop very strategic growth plans, both for marketing and business integration. We understand how to integrate an effective marketing plan into your growth goals, but then there's the third part. The third part is what's unique to me. I don't ever wish this upon anybody to learn it with the experience that I went through, but I've recovered from a severe traumatic brain injury. I lived with this unknowingly for over 30 years. So why does this matter?
Well, you gotta back up. I'm a real simple guy.
Okay.
You had severe traumatic brain injury that you've dealt with for over 30 years.
Didn't know I had it.
Didn't know you had it.
Didn't know I had it.
How can we not know that we have something that's significant?
Wow, Ron. That takes me to a totally different
conversation. So we'll go to that. Okay, maybe we'll hold that one.
Yeah, we'll keep it. Let me keep it simple. So when I was 18,
that's good for me because I'm a simple guy.
Okay, cool. I like to keep things simple too. So what ended up happening and how this even relates is that when I was 18, I had one of those life-altering events, right? I tried to move a brick wall with my head. Guess what?
The brick wall usually wins.
The wall totally won. So in that, though, it was a pivotal, life-changing situation. I went to the hospital. I have had a ton of, Western medical. Unfortunately, at the time, the place, the doctors missed the obvious. Why does that relate to what I'm doing now and how I help businesses?
Don't tell me that we have to start off by running headfirst into a brick wall.
No.
Okay, just thought I'd throw that out there.
No. Number one, always wear a helmet, and number two, no, don't do that.
Okay.
I'm willing to share without you having to do that. So why this is relative, I've had 3 seasons in my life where I've lost my ability to walk, talk, function, remember, and the last season happened about 5 years ago. So there's times in business where we want to pivot. Pivot is not a new word, right? We want to pivot, or we have to pivot.
Sure.
I had wanted to make changes to the marketing firm and how I was doing business. That was a forced situation. Now I had to. So let's fast forward without going into all the deep details. To answer your question, through what I learned by reprogramming my brain, meaning I've literally learned how the brain learns from day zero of when we're a fresh born baby all the way up through being the adults that we are. I have a perspective and an awareness that very few people have. Now, there's amazing things going on in neuroscience, bringing neuroscience into business so you can make an impact in business. I've just been learning more and more about this, but evidently I've been living it, bringing my knowledge of how to short track and tap into the power of our brains so we can short track the results we want in business a little bit differently.
So does that mean that I can become rich quick? I mean, I like that short track idea, right? So it's not like a get rich quick type
This
thing.
is
It's
not
just,
about get rich quick.
It's just a matter of understanding how to do things
differently. And so there's a way that, people will say, well, you started it out. You said, Deb, you do so much. People have always asked me, how do you do what you do? Well, I wasn't able to answer that, but it has to do with what I've learned about handling what goes on in our brains so I can make better business decisions with what I'm doing with my time, what I'm deciding to invest into, what I choose not to get involved with. And then there's a strategy that we implement that I help my clients take their creative ideas and we put a strategic plan behind it. And with this, there's a proven system that we've developed. I have a program called Gear Up that is very powerful. It's a 6-week program that pulls about really rapid results for developing the game plan of how you want to scale up your business. And so I love to teach my clients not only what to do, but why and how. And that's where I think I know I'm different. People have always told me, Deb, we know you've got our back. You're the one that I want. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. So then the question becomes is if we're going to go through it seems like an intense program like this, how do I deal with that and still deal with everything else I've got to go that's going on at the same time?
Love it. In fact, if you're asking that question, then you need to connect up with me, because the very first thing that we're going to do is I'll teach you simple things and strategies to help you gain back your time freedom so that you can have your money freedom. That's a very, very potent and powerful thing. That's why people go in business. They want time freedom, they want money freedom, but those are the two things that we tend to lose. So what I do is simple. I've implemented for years, I've been teaching businesses how to do things a little differently. I'm very results driven. I'm a little bit competitive, and my competition is that I want you to win. I want you to succeed with your dreams. But I realize, because I've lived through this too, like running businesses, raising families, all these life interruptions that come into play. I have a principle of learn today, apply today, win today. And so what I do is very practical. I've taken the technical and I make it really simple so it avoids the overwhelm. Interesting.
We're going to have to talk more about this. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, we might have to learn a little bit more about what's going on here. We're also going to learn more about property management. We'll talk about that as well. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. On Twitter